Hey everyone, welcome to this video. I'm going to show you something in this video. If you have not used this before, it's definitely going to blow your mind. So what I want to do, I want to show you some features of the custom deploy a custom template thing within Azure and how powerful that is. So if you have not messed with the ARM, I highly recommend that you do so. And I started doing it for a while now, and I'm getting more and more better with it. And the things it can offer is amazing. How much you can actually do, but it takes a little bit of time to get used to it. Okay, so in here what I did, I'll show you again. So I want to start a custom deployment. I don't, I want to create a template. And so what you need to search for is just start typing like a deploy a custom template, so it will show up displayed. I'm going to click on this, and in this one click create a blank template. To create a blank template, you can click on build your own template in the editor. You can click on it. What you see here, the bare bone, the minimum thing that you need for a ARM template is presented. So you have to have a schema, have to have a content version, and if you look at the schema, it's using 2019-0401. If you're using with different version of IDE, they may automatically pick up and give you an older version, which is okay. Okay, but just know that you cannot just use anything in here. That has to be a proper, a valid uh, schema. Now, where you see the parameters, it's blank, and the resources section is where we really create our resources. Now, the great thing about this edit template, now say if you want to deploy a virtual machine, all you need to do is from here add a resource and then select a resource. Okay, you can create a virtual machine. Well, before you create a virtual machine, you probably need a virtual network. Okay, let's so create that one first. Instead of creating the virtual machine, let's create a virtual network, and let's name the network um, test network. Okay, hit OK, and if you see, the amazing thing is it already created everything that I want. So the resources is now that you see this block where I had no code at all. It was like there was nothing. So that has a whole bunch of code, and there was no variable section there. Now it's got the variable. Okay, so what you're seeing here, I got few variables, 5 of them. So it looks like it's created one test network prefix. So this looks like the address space, and then within the address space we have a subnet 1 and subnet 2, and then what you have, this large address space is now divided into two smaller one, 10.0.0.0/24, 10.1.0.0.24. Now let's change that subnet to say maybe front end subnet, and the other one let's just call it back end subnet. Okay, if you want to create more subnet, you can actually create in here, but you have to see that they are actually making sense within the resource block and how it's defined. Let's go to the resource, see what's going on there. So here I know that type is one of the mandatory thing that you have to have. So it's going to deploy a virtual network. Okay, and right now it doesn't depend on anything. It's going to add a tag called the test network. Here's the address space prefix, and this thing is coming from the variable. So it's going to go to the variable section. Okay, and it's going to look for the test network prefix, that one, and you're going to put it in here. So if you click on that one, test network prefix, so it will pull this value and put it in our template. So similarly, you have a subnet. So first subnet, the second subnet, and we have the uh, subnet prefix and everything in there. Now say you want another subnet. Okay, what do you want? You can possibly copy this one. So this is creating the subnet section, right? So you can copy this, and let's put the same code I just repeated. Let's just put it back in here, and I'm just gonna call it subnet 3 and subnet 3 prefix. Now this is not there in our variable section yet, right? Because we just created. So we are gonna go to the variable section one more time, In here again, what we'll copy, we are going to copy this 2 lines of code and put it in here, put a comma there. Let's come back over here. So instead of backend, let's say create a database subnet, and this time we're going to use, we have used 10.0.0, 10.0.10, so let's just use 10.0.20 for the database one. Okay, and what is it saying? It's saying that I have a problem. No quick fix, duplicate object keys. Okay, so let's see what. Oh, so I have to change that to 3 and this one to 3. Okay, now it's good. So again, so what I've done, I have just started with the very basic blank template, added a network, and now I can configure 3 different subnets within the network using the same template with very simple modification. Okay, so the next thing what you can do, if you want to make this template more complex, okay, as a matter of fact, I can actually deploy the whole thing right now. Actually, maybe just do that before we do anything else. So just save this one. Just to create a new resource group and say subnet test. That is going to be the name of the resource group. HTTPS is fine. And if I say review and create, it is just going to create a template for me. Then the template deployment is now has started. So what will happen if you see that we will see a subnet, it will, or a virtual network will get created. It's now done. So under this test network resource group, you don't see anything. It will show up in a minute, I hope. It takes just a minute to show up the resources. So let's see what is going on. Okay, come back over here again. Okay, subnet test. Give me my resources. There we go. As I said, just be patient. So here's the test network showed up. Okay, if we go in there, go under the subnet. Now you see I have got 3 different subnets. See how easy it was to do. Now let's go back. Okay, so how do you go back to the template that we just did? So I can always go back to the resource group. Okay, and in this resource group I can look at the deployment, go over here, and that is going to get me to the template file. Okay, this is my template file, so I can download this one and use it. So let's just save this one, and then if I want to use it later, I can use it later from here as well. So let's just click on deploy and then edit template, because we want to keep on modifying and do some more stuff in here, right? So let's just say we now have created our network. Let's just add a, say, virtual machine, Windows virtual machine we're going to add. So we're going to call it Win 2019. And we also need a storage account. So let's just call Win Store. And it's asking select the existing template virtual network. Where do we want to deploy? So let's just use from the template this network I have defined. So use that one. And at this time, okay, make the storage account name a little bit more complex because it has to be unique within the Azure. So 123431 WEWIN. Hopefully that will be unique enough. So let's hit OK and see what's going to happen with the template. So now what you see, now you have resources, you got having, we already had the test network, now we have the storage account, now we have the network interface card and the virtual machine. So let's review the template just a little. So now you have seen, now you see that your parameter section, it's got grown. So here you can create a Windows type and the Windows store. So that is the storage account. The storage account default is going to be the ARS, but allowed values are many different kind you can configure. Then again, the admin username and stuff they're in here. It added additional stuff to the variable. So we have up to this that we have configured. Now we have uh, the system name, uh, the publisher name, then image offer, VM size, all of that stuff got created. Resources, again, it's going to create the virtual network. That one we already had before. What else is going to create? It's going to create a storage account. Just another type. What else is going to create? Is going to create a network interface card. Okay. What else is going to create? Create the virtual machine. And in this one, most likely we have a depends on in here, because before you can create the virtual machine, you have to create a storage account and the network interface card. So ARM template will take care of all of that stuff. So it knows that this section of the code, it really needs the other two resources to be created first. Okay, so it will take care of the deployment in order, so you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So that's about it. So we are really ready to deploy that stuff. Let's say save, do save, and I'm gonna try the deploying in the subnet test. Now these templates are what is called the idempotent. So if section of the template is already deployed, it should not try to redeploy anything. So if I try to deploy this, it will not recreate my virtual network and subnet. It will just deploy my new stuff. So call it Win 2019 in here, and admin, and whatever password is fine. We are not really going to log in. So let's try to see if it can deploy, and it says some validation problem, and it says please try another site or deploy to a different location or zone. So it looks like, okay, so in the East US, my the sites we are trying to deploy is not available. That is fine. So just go back in here and let's see what we have. So over here we are not exposing that type. So let's just go back here and see what is the type that we are trying to deploy. So win VM size is standard D1. That is, looks like is the default one where we are having trouble. So one thing we can do, we can parameterize this one. So let's just see where it's being used. So it's being used over here under hardware profile, and I just want to change that to something that we can use to deploy. So let me just open up another one and I just want to see which VM template I can quickly use. So let's just go there and let's just create. If we just go through the portal and standard D2S V3, let's try that one. Standard D2S V3. So this is the one I want to try. Let's come back over here, variable VM size. Where is my VM size? Okay, standard in here. What I'll do, D2S V3, and I'm gonna see if that format is actually okay to use. And again, I'm back here, fill out the information. Oh, this is just Win 2019, and that's it. And now review and create, and again it's running. Now validation is successful. I can hit create and it should create my virtual machine just fine. So let's just give it a time, give it a minute, and if this is successful, all I need to do, so there is some problem again, additional details. Okay, uh, storage account must be between 3 and 24 characters in length. So look, that is another great thing, that the storage account name that we created, it's too big. Okay, actually what it did, it must have some concatenation going on to make this automatically more unique. So let's just go back and click on redeploy, go to edit template, and then go to our storage account variable. So look for the storage. Okay, storage account. Why is it looking like this? Format document. Okay, so what you're learning is, okay, so here it's saying storage account name is variable storage account name. So win store 1 2 3 4 win name. So this is, I'm going to make that small. I'm going to call it store store, and then hit save. And again, I'm going to do the same thing this time. Where did we try to deploy? Subnet test, and something like that. Subnet test. And let's see. So review and create, and let's see what happens this time. More validation fails. Code invalid. Template variable store is not found. So what I did, I changed the name, but I didn't change the store anywhere else. So again, I gotta go back. Okay, let's find the store first where we did the modification to fix it. So this is the name variable. You have to look for this one, and this is gonna come from variable store. Okay, so this one I may not be able to change. Okay, well, I will be able to change from here. I just have to go to the variable section, just go there, and here for the storage, I'm looking for the storage, this one. I just called it store, and this one I don't need that huge big thing. I'm also going to make this a store, and the account will be unique based on this got added, that actually caused the failure to begin with. Hit save and review. So what them is, put it in that subnet test, hit review. Okay, so I still have reference to this one, so let's just go back again. Be patient. Be patient. You cannot be, so here this one we change that to store. Sorry, this one I have already, we need to change this to store as well. And have another one, variable store. There we go. So now hopefully that will take care of our problem. So let's see. So what I'm teaching you, that when you modify, once you have a little bit of stuff that you change, it can have further implication, and you should not get frustrated. You have to be able to understand and troubleshoot and figure out what's wrong with your template, and that is a very important skill when you're developing your own template for automation. That is absolutely necessary. So now the template deployment is also in progress, and this time at least the name didn't give us any problem as it did when we tried to do it for the first time. Now the name is accepted, so this is a unique name, and the deployment is now going on as expected. So now it got the virtual machine got created, test network was already done, interface was already there, storage account got created. Now the virtual machine is getting deployed. So I'm going to wait for 1 more second, and once this is done, again, you can use this template now. Go to the template, save it, and reuse this template to deploy any virtual machines you like with similar format, right? So that is the goal. And again, if I just open up this one, just a template, You can also see this is the template that we're using. You can add this template as well to your library. So VM with 3 subnets is the template that we created very easily using the portal, and now I have it. Now I can use it, deploy it again as many times as we like, and, and have very similar infrastructure available to me. All right, with that, now you see my deployment is now done. I can go to the resource group, and you see in that subnet test that we created when we started this tutorial, we have everything now. We have the test network, we have the virtual machine, network interface card, and our storage account. Thank you for watching. If you like, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Have a great day.